An aircraft owned and operated by a Russian airline travels between Moscow and Paris. While the aircraft is in flight over international airspace, it is part of Russia's domestic territory. No country's domestic territory. A. Aircraft owned and operated by a country's residents are part of that country's domestic territory, even over international airspace. A German company owns a factory in Poland. The factory produces goods that are sold in both Poland and Germany. This factory is part of Poland's domestic territory. Part of Germany's domestic territory. A. The factory is located in Poland, making it part of Poland's domestic territory, regardless of ownership or sales. The World Health Organization, WHO, has an office in India. Is this office considered part of India's domestic territory? Yes. No. B. Offices of international organizations are not considered part of the domestic territory of the country where they are physically located. An Indian company rents an office building in Russia. Is the office building considered part of India's domestic territory? Yes. No. B. The office building remains part of Russia's domestic territory as it is located and operated within Russia. A ship owned by a German company is being repaired in a shipyard in South Korea. Is the ship considered part of Germany's domestic territory during the repairs? Yes. No. A. The ship is considered part of Germany's domestic territory as it is owned by a German company. A company in India is owned by a Japanese company. Is this company considered part of India's domestic territory? Yes. No. A. The company operates within India, making it part of India's domestic territory, regardless of ownership. An Australian mining company extracts oil from a rig located in the North Sea, an area of international waters. Is the oil rig considered part of Australia's domestic territory? Yes. No. A. The oil rig is part of Australia's domestic territory due to economic activity by Australian residents in international waters. A cruise ship registered in the Bahamas is sailing in the territorial waters of Mexico. Is the ship part of the Bahamas' domestic territory in this situation? Yes. No. A. Ships are considered part of the domestic territory of the country where their owners reside, regardless of their current location. The headquarters of the United Nations, UN, is located in New York City. Is the UN headquarters considered part of the United States domestic territory? Yes. No. B. International organizations like the UN are excluded from the domestic territory of the country in which they are physically located. A fishing boat owned and operated by an Indian company is fishing in international waters. Is the boat considered part of India's domestic territory? Yes. No. A. Fishing vessels operating in international waters, but owned by residents of a country, are part of that country's domestic territory.